Hi, I'm Nick from How to Film Weddings, and today I am talking about turning your video conference calls into something that looks and sounds like this, into something that looks like this. So there are three different areas that you're going to want to focus in on before upping your game for video consultations and video meetings and that kind of stuff. The first thing that you really want to use to make your meetings look a lot better, your presentations look a lot better, is to be able to use your professional camera, right? Your DSLR, your cinema camera, whatever it may be. And so what you're going to need to get is a device. This thing right here, the Camlink 4K, you're going to need to get this so that you can plug your camera into your computer. What it is, it has USB on one end and then HDMI on the other. And this allows your camera to be used as a webcam. It's really nice. It plugs in, it works, it's really simple. Every time I plug it in, my computer recognizes it as a webcam. So you're going to need to get this. The other thing you are going to need is an HDMI cable. Now the cable that I have is regular on both sides. You're going to need to look at your camera to see what size HDMI your camera takes. There is regular, mini, and then micro HDMI. So plug it into your camera, plug that into the Camlink, then plug that into your computer, and your computer should recognize your DSLR, your video camera, whatever you use for weddings, for your webcam, so that you can make your meetings look a whole lot better. The next thing I want to touch on is microphones. So because John and I host a podcast, we have these really nice podcasting microphones. This is the Rode Podcaster microphone. It runs around $200 for just this mic, but again, we are podcasting, a couple times a week, so it makes sense for us to have this type of microphone and use it for my meetings and that kind of stuff. As I'm talking to my clients, they can really hear and understand. It comes with this nice arm. Anyway, this is a really nice setup. If you don't want to spend this kind of money on a USB microphone, that totally makes sense. I mean, we are professional podcasters and we do this all the time and we're talking to people all the time, so it makes sense for us to have a mic like this. There are a couple other options that you can do. One, something like the Blue Yeti is a more budget-friendly podcasting mic. It's about $120 or so, and you just plug that one in and then you are good to go, and your clients will be able to hear nice, clean, good audio from you as you're talking to them through your meeting. Another option for audio would be to use something that many of us have laying around that maybe you aren't using very much, and that is one of these Rode VideoMic Pros or Rode VideoMic, something like that. You could take this, okay, this is a kind of a quote-unquote boom mic setup I have, but you have one of these, take this. Then you're going to need to pick up one of these, and this is a Rode 3.5 millimeter to XLR adapter. Okay, so you take this and then, just plug it in to the Rode mic, like so. And then I have this cable right here, which is an XLR on one end to USB on the other. So you can plug that in and then use that, and then set this up somewhere off camera so that people might not be able to see it. You can kind of rig that up however you want. The last thing that we want to talk about is lighting. Whenever you have proper lighting on your videos, you are going to look better. So lighting tied with your camera and your audio is just going to up your video consultation game. So I use a Practilite with a really big dome light on it. I run this video podcast, and so I'm trying to have a more professional look, and I do it all the time, so it makes sense for me to invest in this type of camera equipment. You might not necessarily want to do that, especially if you don't have it and you're not doing a bunch of interview type stuff. That might not make sense for you. So using the gear that you have, there are a few things that you can do if you don't want to get a massive softbox with your Practilite, which is what I use, and then I also have a hair light up here. You can kind of see it on the top of my head, right behind me. So if you want to go more of a budget-friendly route, one thing, use the light that you have. Okay, put it on your light stand and then put it away from you, and then get a diffuser. Get something that you can open up, that you can clip in front of your your light, and then that will just diffuse the light, make it a lot softer so it's not as harsh, it's not as bright, and you will look a lot better. I will put a link in the description below for a few different options of things that you can use so that your lighting will look a lot better in your videos. So last thing I want to talk about is how are you actually doing your calls with your clients? I know there are lots of different programs out there that you can use from your computer to get a good consultation call, a good video call, a good conference call. FaceTime works great. You can actually select the camera and the audio source and stuff within FaceTime, but again, that's just, you and another person. Google Hangout, you can use Google Hangout. The program that John and I prefer to use is Zoom. One of the reasons that we really like it is that you can record your entire conversation in case you might need that for some reason. But another thing that you can do is if you have a Facebook group or you have a Facebook page and you want to go live with other people, you need to use a third-party plugin to have multiple people go live into your group or your page or something like that. And Zoom allows you the ability to do that. I know that's a little different than what we're talking about here, but that's one of the reasons why John and I really, really love Zoom. So as I'm talking about these video conference calls and all of that, I wanted to show you what my room setup is before I do that. I have my camera, which is straight ahead of me right here. I have my big light with my softbox on it. This is a Practilite 602 with my big softbox. I have my torch LED up there for my hair light, and then I have my podcasting microphone and all of it running into my MacBook Pro. And here I have a 27-inch iMac as my external monitor. So this is my setup for how I do these video calls. Probably doing a lot more meetings like this over Zoom, over FaceTime, over Google Hangout, something like that. And I think it makes sense for us to do what we can to put our best foot forward, do what we can to present ourselves in the best light as possible. And so spending a little extra time and a little extra money to set something up so that your consultations, so that your meetings look better, sound better, and are more professional, I think is going to set you apart from other people that maybe they're having FaceTime calls with, Google Hangout calls with, that sort of thing, so that you can really elevate your brand and elevate your business. So what kind of questions do you have about using the Cam Link, using external audio, using lighting or whatever for your video calls? Let us know in the comments below. I hope that you found this video very informative. Please subscribe to our channel, and until next time, we will see you.